It's just so wild to me. It's a perfect time to launch a product like this. And I'm wondering, I would imagine the sales went up through the roof over the last year.
Yeah, I mean, like uh, our company really was put on the map by Sean Hannity. We have no relationship with him. There was this thing that came out, and he was saying like, I think police and regular citizens need to um, have this device that I just bought, and I think it's great. And he mentioned the Byrna, and it's like it was like the one time where, like, Hanny's very, he's a very polar personality, but it brought people on both sides of the fence to say, like, you know what, who cares if I'm left or right or conservative or liberal? This makes a lot of sense on the law enforcement side. It makes a lot of sense on the civilian side, and it's just too crazy to have this much firepower in society today.
Yeah.
And that was an interesting aspect because a lot of people gravitated to that, and we were selling, we were getting tens of thousands of orders from that. And then it was a situation where it was not like, oh, I hate this person for saying or for his position. It was like, wow, that's an interesting position. And
well, listen, from a business standpoint, you can't go wrong. Somebody that's got 3.5 million viewers are watching this TV show saying your product, no matter who it is, that's good for business.
Yeah.
So are you guys, is there like a backlog of orders, or is it like, can someone just go on and get one and it's coming in 3 days? Like, how does it work?
In the beginning, we had a 4-month wait.
Yeah.
And because the demand was so crazy, right?
Yeah.
And now we reduced it to a week, and people were still willing to wait. And like my background story, so you can understand where I'm at, is it's not like all capitalism. From a lot of us, it's mission based. We want to save lives. We want to. Prior to this, I had launched a natural foods company with other founders, and we were able to IPO in September of last year.
Wow.
So I had a liquidity event where I was retired. I retired at 49, smoking cigars, playing golf, and doing
Life,
other
man.
things.
That's
Right?
the interview we should be doing right now.
And so then I was asked as a favor to speak to this company that was doing something very unique. And as I listened to our CEO, Brian Gans, talk about his vision and his mission, and he said, look, at the end of the day and at the end of my career, if I could help save lives, then that's a life well spent.
Is this going to IPO also?
We're already public.
Okay.
So we're trading on the NASDAQ under BYRN. But that struck a chord with me because there are a few things that I'm very good at in life. Really building awareness for brands is one, and I wanted to join this journey, and I wanted to be able to, like, we're talking to schools, arming school teachers with this, where if there is an active shooter environment, the teacher can protect the class, and if he or she misses, no one dies, right? And so it's giving something. Some people,
yeah, I think that's like the big thing. I mean, I think at the end of the day, like, the money is going to be made up by private consumers, but or whatever. But no, let me flip that back. You guys get in with the school board. We got to buy this stock. What's the stock again?
BYRN.
BYRN. This is like the get rich episode, because
so you guys are talking about, I'm gonna go off on a tangent, but you guys were talking about wrestling. I was laughing because we have this piece of creative that we think would be hilarious to shoot. So we initially thought of Betty White, from Golden Girls.
Sure.
And so Betty White's in her Floridian home, or Florida home, and she wakes up in the middle of the night, and she hears a sound in the living room. She sits on her bed, and she pulls out her eye mask. She's like, "Oh my gosh, someone's breaking into my house." She leans over and she grabs her Byrna, and walks to the door, opens in the dark, shoots 5 rounds, and then you can hear this large male voice like, "Oh my gosh, ow, Betty, my face is burning. What are you doing?" And she recognizes the voice, and she turns on the light, and it's Hulk Hogan. And Hulk Hogan's in the middle of her living room, rolling around. He's in pain. He can't breathe. And Betty runs to him and says, "Oh my gosh, Hulk, I'm so sorry. You're not supposed to be here till tomorrow." And Hope says, it's 2 a.m. It's technically tomorrow, right? And so fast forward 30 minutes later, she's consoling him with milk and cookies in her kitchen. It's like, don't worry, Hulk, it'll go away. You'll live. But the message that we're saying here is, look, if this product is so easy to handle and use that a senior citizen can use it and take down a monster human being like the Hulkster, that's good for you. And if you miss, and it's not going to be catastrophic. And it's a serious conversation, but we wanted to kind of approach it with humor so that it's approachable. And
so, are you going to shoot this commercial, or do you need?
We're trying. I think I let it out early, but we are talking to agents and getting talent and people like that to help us bring it to life. But from an approachability standpoint, it's very important to me because, look, I was a kid that grew up, and I came here as an immigrant. We grew up poor, had to build everything that I had with my own two hands, and I understood what it's like. I understand what it's like not to have a discretionary income, and it was very important to me to make this product available to everyone. And because if you don't have a lot of income, you're probably living not in the best neighborhoods, right? And I wanted to make sure that everyone felt safe. And so we created we worked with a partner called Sezzle, and we instituted partial payments on our website where you can pay up to 6 payments, and they manage all super easy. And we saw such an incredible response from people that wanted to, I can't pay for it all at once, but if you let me break off bits and pieces, then I'll do that. And for me, being a minority, having a lot of minority friends, kind of doing all that, I understood it from that standpoint. And it was critical. It was important to me personally to bring that out and to make sure that everyone who wants to feel safer, who we look at we consider our mentality like the UN, right? We don't engage until you're engaged upon, and we're prepared to defend. And so it's not aggressive. It's really meant to say, hey, I might be a small individual, but if you come my way, like my friend DJ Lethal, formerly of Limp Bizkit, would say, F around and find out, right? And so you don't want to do that because most criminals are looking for, the easy targets. People are not going to fight back. People are going to just roll over and do what you're going to do. But if you fight back a little bit, they're going to walk away because that's the mentality of a bully. That's the mentality of a criminal. And if you show some resistance, chances are you're going to be all right. But if you roll over,
if you pull out the one let's see the two. You had 2 models there. Yeah, that one. If you pull that one out,
the black one,
that looks like a real gun.
Yeah, I mean, if you go on our website, there's a passer that talks about this guy following into his grocery store, man, mirror shadowing his every movement. He checked out, the guy dropped his bag, came out with a knife. He pulled this out, and the guy took off. He was later captured, robbing another customer at knife point. And it's just we get these stories all the time. And what we want to say is, look, don't ruin. We think that a bullet can ruin 2 lives. And you better be prepared when you're playing lethal and you're watching way too many Die Hard movies that it's all going to be forgiven. And when it says the end, your problems are just starting, Never thirsty.